Hey everybody, it's Rhianne. I'm a Pilates and dance instructor, and today I wanted to do a video about the hip flexors and how to turn them off so that we can really connect with our deep core muscles. So a lot of my students have come to me with questions wondering why after they've done an ab series that they really feel like really tight and like really worked out in their hip flexors, and they don't feel any engagement in the lower abdominal region. This is super normal. I know from my own experience, if I've taken some time off and I've gone back in to do some lower abdominal work, my hip flexors are commonly the first things to overcompensate and kick in. So I have to be super conscious about what's happening with my lower core muscles. This can totally be fixed just through training and awareness. That's all it is. Our hip flexor muscles are highly efficient. They are responsible for bending at the waist, bending at the hip, and then bringing the knee in and away from the body. So anytime that you're doing any exercises when you're lying down, quite often the movement of the legs coming in and out, your body thinks that you're walking, and so your hip flexors are like, oh, that's my job, I'm here. So what we're gonna do today is go over a few different exercises that you can use just for tapping into those lower core muscles. You're not gonna need really any props, except for if you do have a Pilates ball or a barre ball, it would be great if you could bring this along with today's practice. If you don't have this, you can also use a rolled up towel or a small pillow. That would work great. If you don't have one of these, I highly recommend you getting one. This ball can be taken with you anywhere. It deflates, so you can take it traveling. It's really great for obviously working out. I like to actually watch a movie lying on my back with it underneath my neck. It's a really beautiful place to kind of get working through the neck and just to release any tension. And then of course it's really great for Pilates and so for some other restorative practices. So if you don't have one of these, I highly recommend it. You can get them on Amazon. You can get them on many different websites. So it's called the Overball if you are looking online, the Overball. Another important component of activating your lower abdominals is actually releasing your quads and releasing your hip flexors. Quite often, especially if you're fairly active and if you don't stretch or roll, these muscles get really tight, and that just causes them that cycle of overcompensating. So if you can get a foam roller, this is a really, really great tool to have in your arsenal for your home workouts. If you can't have one, if you don't have the space, it's pretty big. You can get shorter ones as well, but they often have them at gyms and stuff too. So it's just really good if you can practice rolling out, after your workout or even every day, just to release through the front body. That would be really helpful. That will really just loosen up any adhesions or any scar tissue and help you kind of get into that lower core muscle by essentially forcing your hip flexors and your quads to relax. So that's our two little tools that we can use today. One other funny thing I like to talk about is I really like my students to be very integrative with their practice. I want you to constantly be scanning your body and really connecting with what part of the body is actually working, which sounds super weird because if you're working out, you know that you're, working out your bicep or you're working your abs or whatever. But quite often our dominant muscle groups tend to take over, just like with the hip flexors and lower abdominal exercises. And so it's really important for you to think about what's actually happening. So, where are my lower abdominals? Do I feel my lower abdominals? How can I engage my lower abdominals? And then just keep doing that scan. Being really mindful with that practice will really help you just get those muscles to kick in and remember that they have a job to do and that they're not on holiday. So what we're going to do is we're going to start lying down on our backs with our feet flat on the floor and just get nice and settled. And let's go. All right, so we are going to lay on our backs if you're not already, and just find a really nice comfortable position. So have your feet be about sit bone distance apart, and you want to have them a comfortable distance away from your body. You don't want to have your heels snugging up towards those hips, and you don't want them too stretched out either. So just find that kind of nice happy medium. And then the first thing I like to do with my students really is just bring yourself to your practice. So start by really finding your body in space, so that proprioception, feeling the feet on the floor. We're in that neutral spine with the pelvis. So what that means is that we have our tail, a really heavy tailbone. We can feel those back ribs, and there's a small, gentle little space in the back. If the back is not, if you don't have that space, don't push it down. Just make sure that we're not in an imprint, so we're not forcing the lower back to be down. So you can just wiggle your hips around,
just focusing on that heavy tailbone, those heavy back ribs. And that will be your best neutral position for your body. Everybody's bodies are different, so just work with what you have. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our fingertips and we're going to take our heels of our hands and pop those on our hip bones. Fingertips are going to point down to the pelvis. So if you have a quick look at your pelvis right now, you're going to flat. The heels of the hands and fingertips are all in that same plane. This signals to you that you're in a neutral position. Now I'd like you to take a nice deep breath in, filling up those back ribs, and on the exhale, we're going to lengthen that spine. So think about right from the top of the neck, we're going to roll that spine towards the floor. The sit bones are going to start to shine out to the wall in front of you. That lower back is now pressing actively into the mat. And if you have a quick look at your pubic bone, your hip bones. So that triangle has kind of come like this, and now it's like this, okay? Sorry, like this. Yeah, other way. Okay, this is what we call in Pilates our imprint. So let's inhale, leading with that pubic bone. Let's just find that gentle neutral spine. We're going to just increase it just a little bit. We're going to create a little bit more of an arch. And on the exhale, I want you to lengthen that spine, scoop through the belly, and then think about facing up towards the nose. Inhale to release, and exhale. And let's do one more time. Inhale to release, and exhale. Lovely. And let's come right back to our neutral. Take your fingertips now, and then I want you to find that really nice soft belly, and I want you to come in towards the belly. I want you to take a nice deep breath in, and on the exhale, I want you to cough. And again, you're going to feel that quick little bit of muscle activity in that lower belly. That was your lower muscle, so that's your transverse abdominis. This is really what we want to focus on here for really integrating the lower abdominals. So you do have them. Like I said, they just need to be taught to be turned on. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a nice deep breath in, and on the exhale, we're going to come into that imprinted position. Let's place our hands down by our side, pressing through the palms. Nice long neck. We're going to inhale. Now I want you to really focus on that lower belly. We're going to draw the right leg into tabletop. We're going to draw the left leg into tabletop, okay? Now take those fingers and just pop them into that soft belly space. You're going to feel that those muscles are activated, especially because in this imprinted position here, we have that slight little curl of the pelvis. So those sit bones are still shining out to the wall in front of you. Pubic bone is tipping up towards the nose. This is setting your entire abdominal line. Now, one of the biggest issues in tabletop position when we're doing our ab work is that people, they tend to come down too low too fast. And what happens here is that the hip flexors, they want to grab to help pull that leg back up. So you're getting this kind of spreading motion and then this active pulling while the belly remains quite uninvolved. So what I really want you to do is we're going to do some short range work here. We're going to keep the feet nice and long. You don't need to point the toes. Just think about extending through the ankles. We're going to take a nice deep breath in to prepare. Now on the exhale, we're going to just lengthen that leg away from us. We're still going to work again still from the hip. Now we're going to inhale. See if you can involve the lower belly muscles to pull that leg back up to tabletop. And on the exhale, over towards the left. So don't aim for the floor. Just aim for that really nice contraction in the lower abdominals. Inhale to return. And exhale. Let's lower down. Inhale, coming all the way up. Your tailbone should have a really small little lift in it so that we keep that really nice scoop through that pelvis. Beautiful. Let's do 3 more. And if you need that little bit of a guide, that tactile guide with those fingers, please feel free to add it. So just kind of really getting into those lower belly muscles to really activate. Now, another thing that's really important is our abdominal system relies on our breathing. So if you don't breathe while you're exercising, you're not going to properly involve your lower core muscles, or any of your core muscles for that matter. So when we're exhaling, we want to think about blowing out through pursed lips. This is not only going to help the movement, but it's also going to create a little bit more resistance in our ribs, which is going to also activate our upper abdominals. Lovely. Let's do one more after this. And let's just bring our knees into chest. I want to talk really quickly about the pelvic floor. So your pelvic floor muscles, when you take an inhale, your diaphragm and your pelvic floor muscles, they actually drop. And then when you exhale, they recoil and they come back to their original position. So that's why breathing is super important. It's the deep core muscles are connected with the pelvic system, and that is all facilitated with the breath. So it's really, really important to use your breath work when you're exercising. With the pelvic floor, when we exhale, I want you to think about those pelvic floor muscles drawing together and then pulling up in towards the diaphragm. So it's almost like you're pulling a Kleenex out of a box. It's that kind of like that spreading, grabbing together and pulling up motion. It can feel a little bit weird, and sometimes in this position it can be a little bit hard to feel. So you can actually practice cross-legged on the ground. Just having that nice little basin of the pelvis on the floor can be a really nice place for you to activate that pelvic floor, that drawing together and pulling up. And then as you inhale, it kind of flattens and it spreads out that way. All right, we're going to come back to our tabletop, so find that imprint, find the tabletop. Now, we're going to bring the legs together. I want you to actively press those legs together. It's going to activate the inner thighs. It's going to get into that pelvic floor. Again, we're going to shine those sit bones slightly to the wall in front of you. If you want, for your level 2 position, you can interlace those fingers and place your heavy head in your hands. I want you to actively press into the hands, open those elbows out to the side, and our gaze is right over our knees. If you want to stay in level 1, please feel free. Level 2 is just going to involve a little bit more of the upper abdominals. We're going to take a nice deep breath in. And on the exhale, we're going to draw those ribs together, ribs towards those hips. We're going to hold it here. Now, we're going to inhale. We're going to lower both knees down halfway. Exhale, coming all the way up. We have 6 of these. Here we go. Number 2. Number 3, I've got a shake on already. Number 4. Number 5. And number 6. Take a nice deep breath in and rolling back. So one of the most beautiful things about Pilates is that you don't need to do a ton of exercises. If you're doing it correctly, your muscles are going to kick in right away. So those like 15-minute ab sessions of like constant crunches and stuff, those can be a thing of the past. All you need to do is just move with intention and know what muscles you're actually working so that you can get a deeper practice and really, get stronger that way and use those muscles properly. It's pretty good. Okay, we're going to come back to our one-legged tabletop work. So find that imprint. We're going to flex our feet. Let's open our legs so that they're apart, and they're about 2 fists apart. So they're about that distance apart, in line with those hip bones or those sit bones, whatever's best for you. Now, we've shortened our range. Before we were working with that long foot. So now we're going to flex the feet. We're going to actively pull those toes back towards the nose. So again, just work half range for now. You don't need to come all the way down to the floor. You're going to take a nice deep breath in. And on the exhale, opening from the hip, think about those lower abdominals are helping lower that foot down. And then exhale, scoop the belly first, pull the knee back up to tabletop. Beautiful. Inhale, left leg lowers down. Exhale, come up. And right side. And left side. And right side. Again, if you want to come into your level 2, please feel free for that added little bit of a bonus. Good, 2 more on each side. Last time. And coming all the way in, shake your head no, nod your head yes, and give yourself a nice little rest. Just roll side to side here. Good work. All right, let's do some lower, we're going to do the jackknife prep exercise for the lower core. So when you're ready, We're going to come in to that imprinted position. Let's bring the left leg into tabletop. Let's bring the right leg into tabletop. Now, if you have a Pilates ball or that pillow or towel and you want to use this is a really great place to work. I'm going to offer 2 different variations. You can put the ball between the knees. That active squeeze is going to get into the inner thighs and it's going to automatically involve the pelvic floor. Or you can place it underneath the knees here. I get a little bit more hamstrings, and then it just really helps kind of keep this position with the legs. So I like this position. Again, you don't have to do this at all. It's just a nice little variation. You get just a little bit more activation through the back body. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to keep seeking those nice and long, and we're going to actively press the hands down into the mat. Make sure when you press that you don't end up arching through the upper back. You want to feel those back ribs on the mat. We're finding that imprinted position. We're going to take a nice deep breath in. Now with your lower belly muscles and the assistance of the hands on the exhale, we're going to draw the knees towards the nose. We're going to lift that tailbone off of the floor. Inhale to stay and smile. Exhale, let's lower down. Reset. Inhale to prepare. And exhale to curl. Hold it here. Take a nice deep breath in. Scoop to that belly. Exhale to return. Good. We've got 4 more. Inhale to prepare. And exhale. Inhale here. And exhale. Beautiful. Let's do 2 more. I think it's 2. We'll do 2 more. Now you don't have to bring those hips super high off of the floor. What's the most important thing is that you're feeling that lower body engagement here. Okay, we're going to do 1 more. We're going to hold it here now. So take a nice deep breath in. Exhale. And we're going to hold for 5, for 4, 3. Keep scooping that belly. And 1, and release. Beautiful. Let's take that ball out. We're going to place it between the knees. We're going to open the arms to a nice long T position here. Okay, so here we're going to actually, I'm going to give you an option. If you want to be in that imprint, you can be an imprint. If you want to find that neutral, find the neutral. The neutral is going to be a little bit more harder to stabilize, so just know that. You might do one and think you want to go into imprint, so totally up to you. We're going to take a nice deep breath in. You're going to press through the left hand, press through the left shoulder blade, and on the exhale, we're going to lower those knees over towards the right. We're only going to go as far as we can so that we don't collapse towards the floor. Now, what tends to happen is that as that leg that's closest to the floor gets closer to the floor, the top leg slides back. So what I want you to do now is take that left leg and see if you can match it so that both knees are in the same line. Take a nice deep breath here. Pull the belly button in. On the exhale, we're coming right through center. Beautiful. Take that nice deep breath in. Press to the right side of the body, and exhale. We're going to lower those knees over towards the left, only as far as you can, while we're still maintaining that contact. We're taking a nice deep breath in here, sliding that top leg out so it matches the bottom leg. Pull the belly in, let the belly move those legs back through center. Beautiful. Inhale to prepare, and we're going to roll over towards the right. Exhale, pull the belly button in, moving right through center. Beautiful. Inhale to prepare. Then we're going to rock those legs over towards the left, sliding that right leg out on top. Pull that belly button in. Exhale. Lovely. Let's do 2 more on each side. All right, we're going to have a little surprise here. So let's bring the legs over towards the right. Now keep squeezing that ball. We're going to hinge right from that knee. We're going to open and close. 2 and close. And 3. Keep pressing into that left arm. 4 and 1 more. We're going to hold this leg nice and straight. Squeeze those legs together. Use the belly. Pull it right through center, lower down. Beautiful. Let's inhale. Over towards the left, pressing through that right side. Hold it here. We're going to open and close. For 2, 3, 4. Last time. 5. Squeeze through center. Beautiful. And coming back in. Let's take that ball out. And again, let's just reset the spine. Move side to side. Beautiful job. And let's just release through the feet. And we're going to transition to sitting up. All right, so our abs are definitely woken up. So we're going to come into sitting. We're going to keep the ball to hand. If you've got the towel or that pillow, let's get it involved right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to find ourselves in that seated position. Again, the feet are going to be about sit bone distance apart. And I want you first to find those sit bones so that we're going to stack. So my sit bones are right there, and I'm drawing all the way up through the body, right to the tops of the ears. I'm going to take this blue ball and I'm going to place it just behind my tailbone. Now, I don't want to have it jammed up against because I'm going to be rolling down. And I want this ball to really work with that scoop. It's helping me really reinforce. So I'm not like chilling out like on holiday. It's not like a lawn chair where I'm just like, phew. It's really helping me with that scoop. My upper body is going to stay nice and lifted. We're going to be in what's called a J spine. So it's literally like straight back and then curved pelvis. Okay? So let's roll the shoulder blades back. We're going to take a nice deep breath in. And then on the exhale, we're going to tip through the pelvis. We're going to sit behind the sit bones first. And then we're going to roll back. And you might find as you roll back that you want to move that ball a little bit more. Now, one of the tests that we do to find out about if you have got kind of weaker lower abdominal muscles is that when you roll down, that you lose connection with the floor with your feet. So if this is happening to you, I want you to really just think about sitting up more. Still actively coming into that scoop, so it's like we're in that imprinted position, but just working for here. You should be able to feel those 4 points of the feet on the floor, okay? I'm just gonna roll mine down just a little bit. We're gonna take a nice full deep breath in here. Now on the exhale, we're gonna come forward and we're gonna stack all the way up. Inhale to grow, exhale, sit, tip, roll back. Scoop through the belly. Actively pull that belly button up to spine. Hold it here. Take a nice deep breath in. And now exhale. Wheel yourself forward. Stacking up. Lovely. Let's do 3 more. Really use those muscles to pull you up. Lovely. 2 more. And start to challenge yourself a little bit. See if you can find that point where you're still staying connected, but it's a struggle for you. Push that edge a little bit. And last time. And we're going to hold it here. Now, make sure that you're nice and connected. You've got that scoop. We're going to inhale. Using our lower belly muscles, we're just going to lift our right leg up. Exhale, press it down. You're going to probably feel your obliques in this too. Inhale, left leg floats up. Exhale, down. Right leg floats up and down. Nice and slow, moving with intention. 2 more. Last time. Take the nice deep breath in. And then exhale, wheeling yourself up. And let's come forward. Let's have a heavy head. Shake your head no. Nod your head yes. Beautiful job. Let's take that ball out. Just place it to the side. We're going to come back onto our elbows.
Okay, so in this position, we're almost in like a sphinx pose with the upper body. We're actively pressing down into the forearms and into those hands. What I don't want you to do is to pop through that chest, okay? So keep those ribs drawing together. We're going to bring those knees together. We're going to take a nice deep breath in. Now with that lower belly, we're going to bring the right leg into tabletop. Exhale, pop it down. Inhale, left leg comes up and pressing it down. Number 3. Let's do 2 more. Last time. Great. And let's flip over. So we're going to come onto all fours. Got to find a good spot for my for my headset here. Let me just pop it into my pocket here. Okay, we're going to find ourselves in all fours. So in this position, I want you to spread those hands nice and wide so that you feel those kind of 3 corners of the palm just right underneath the shoulder. The knees are right underneath the hips. We're going to tuck those toes under. From this position here, I want you to think about drawing that belly button in away from your t-shirt so that we're having that really nice supported core. We're really holding our organs in place. We're going to draw those arms in to face each other. So don't press them forward. Think about drawing them actively in towards each other. So it's like with our hands, we're actually screwing everything into place. Now, we're going to take a nice deep breath in. You're going to press through the hands, you're going to press through the feet, you're going to pull the lower belly muscles in even more, and we're going to hover those knees about 1 inch or 2 off of that mat. In this position, I want you to actively press away from the floor so that you're not allowing the upper body to collapse. We're going to look down at the mat. We're going to hold it here for 8, 7, pull the belly button in, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and coming all the way back down. Let's rotate those wrists. And let's get everything back in line. We're going to do it again. Take that nice deep breath in. So find the hands, find the feet, pull that belly button in. We're lifting away from the floor with those lower belly muscles. And on the exhale, press, lift up, and we're holding it here for 10, for 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, pressing away from that floor, 3, 2, and 1, coming all the way down. Let's open those knees nice and wide to the side. You can bring those toes to touch. Let's just sit down, sit back into a shell stretch. Let's rotate those palms so that they're facing up. Hold it here. Take that nice deep breath in. And exhale. Take that nice deep breath in. And exhale. And 1 more. Lovely. And from here, let's walk our hands back a little bit. We're going to curl up into our cat pose. So as we stack, we're going to send those hips back towards the heels, round to the upper spine, and let's just come up and coming all the way back. So those are some exercises that I like to use with my students for activating the lower core. So, just keep with these. You don't need to go crazy. You can just repeat them several times and have those be kind of your foundation practice for connecting with the lower core. I am so happy that you joined me today. Thank you so much. If you liked this video, please like, subscribe, comment below. I'd love to have you join my channel. My name is Rhianne, and I hope to see you again soon. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye.